And we need a system. And we need to be used to a system so that systemic thinking becomes my default. Then any change I need to make in my life, I can somehow dovetail that into my systemic thinking. Do you get what I'm saying? And so, easiest way to make it regular is very simple. We can just make it a ritual. There is always a cue. There is a trigger. Huh? That's what will drive us, the wired mind, to an action. There is a trigger. Simplest trigger is our Dr. Pavlov trigger. You see, something is cooking inside now. Slowly our mouth start watering because there is a trigger inside that somebody is cooking something which you like. And that's a cue, that's a trigger. And now naturally an action happens in me. And now even if I'm not hungry, I say, maybe I should text a little bit. Gone, you see. And then there is a consequence. So you have a cue, and cue na CUE. You have a trigger. And then you do something as a behavior because of the trigger, and the behavior has a consequence. So when I have to do something new in my life, I need to actually pin down what is the cue for me to do it so that I don't miss it. And generally, the best way to put a cue is, if somebody is regularly going to office on time, the best way is, let me do a pillion ride on that person so that he will push me to make sure that I somehow follow my routine. We have such stuff now. So the best way is ride on the back of established routines. And the easiest, most established routine is this, established routine. You see? So because we have this, this brain is, there is a gut brain also, they say, and it need not work with this brain. That's problem. So it has its own way of intelligence. It knows how to take care of all these stuff. Thankfully, it takes care of, once we put it in, it takes care of the rest, you see. And so sapad, food is a good cue for us, and best is done before food. So they used to do all this before food, or before tea, or before coffee, or whatever it is, or as soon as I wake up. You see, sleeping is also a perfect routine. Kaya, piya, soya. So either we have to do something with sleep as the cue for us. So I can say, every day before I go to sleep, let me push this routine. Or every day when I wake up in the morning, let me do this routine. Typically, registering the positives is done with sleep as the cue. And we say, anyway, I have to spend some time before going to sleep. Let me now review the whole day and say, what all happened right? Let me write it down. If you journal it, even better, because there are a lot of positives in journaling. The positives with journaling is, generally there is throwback. We understand that more online now. There are throwback pictures. Many times when I look at the journal, when I'm feeling low, for example, and I need a little inspiration, I look at my own journal. And 1 year back, these things went right. Now you relive that experience and you get a portion of that happiness without any doubt. Happiness has two types of happiness. One is the happiness which comes from smaranam, that which comes from remembrance. And another happiness comes from experience. Experiential happiness and happiness from memory are the two types of happiness. Says a book called Vedanta Paribhasha's first slokam. When we look back at the journal, we get that happiness, we get that energy, we get that confidence. I did that last year. I think I can do it now, because the mind cannot by its own way, accord, when it's feeling down, cannot look at the past positives to pull itself up. Journaling can help us when you have positive journaling like this, you see. And that is the reason why the cue could be, before I go to sleep, at least let me give an account of what happened today, positives, and ask this question, why? And with gratitude, I feel good, I go to sleep. And when I wake up, if you want to do meditation, etc., the moment you wake up, just freshening up a little bit and then doing meditation is the ideal time, because mind was already in the state of rest. And now it is awake. And before we get into this too much of activity, it is always good to use that time. The calm mind is going to aid us. That's a cue for us to do meditation. Or we can imagine the consequence also to fortify it and understanding. Try it. And when you try journaling, you feel grateful. Na? At that point of time, pause and said, what am I feeling right now? Remember yesterday we talked about it, awareness of the feeling. It's not only for negatives, for also positives. I'm feeling good. So I have put a small wire up there, which tells me or tells my brain or mind or whatever, hey, this is nice, you see? And that's how I believe all these marketing advertising companies, they work on the same principle. They work on cue, behavior, consequence, you see? So I can have my own cues, I can have my own consequences clear, because otherwise I get influenced by what is projected as a cue and a consequence of the society. I live a second-handed life. I decide my cues so that I have a routine, and that's what we call rituals. And those rituals give me the power to run my life because I plan it.
And let's count our blessings and make every blessing count. Have a great day.